Good to see you.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Good to see you. Well, I think really your leader, Tita Josie, needs more of an introduction since she was on the ground, flying around multiple cities, 9, 10 different flights, all the things, made it to Boracay, made it to Davao, made it to Manila, and beyond. And so, man, it was really hard to watch you guys online. I wanted to be there so bad. We've been planning out this trip. That super typhoon seemed like it was coming in a lot hot, but you know what? I believe in the power of prayer, and I'm so grateful that it didn't hit as bad as it seems like as the typhoon before. So I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know why God called me to stay, but what I am happy for and proud of you guys is that everything went on as planned. Your retreat went on as planned. You guys looked like you had a blast on the yacht, so that definitely won't be the last time that we do that. And but I just want to give a shout out to all of your leadership and Tita Josie for sure, because without her, it'd be a lot even harder for me and all of us to be able to continue to build this market, and to have someone like her on the ground is second to none. I mean, she's just a leader of leaders. We've been in high communication pretty much every day. We just got off a phone call with our owner, David Chung, last week, and we just dialed in some of the things that we need for your market to take the market to the next level. We've reached that 90 days, almost 120 days from some of you that have been with us this summer. And now we get to really walk into or run into a season that we've all been preparing for and planning for a very long time. I would say for almost over 7 years in Amari's history, the Philippines is definitely on the map. You guys have produced and have created over 70% of the rank promotions in Asia, globally, worldwide, in Amari is coming from Asia. So give your guys a round of applause and a high five for what you guys have done and created. And it's really just, I know it's just a small amount of what you guys will be able to do moving into 2026. So I'm going to answer some questions here in a little bit. I would love for either of you or one or two of you to share. Just put in the chat if you feel on your heart to share how the retreat went, what you took away from it, what you experienced from it. These are some of the things that what I love about this industry, where we get to come together. Where there's a lot of hard work. All of you have put in a lot of hard work to build up to that retreat, to bring over 50 people plus to that retreat with your team. You guys dominated that retreat, as we knew that you would, but you brought the energy, and corporate is just super fired up to have this team and this leadership team on the ground, not just leading one city, but multiple cities across the country. So I just want to say I'm just really proud of you guys for what you've done. And now we're kind of moving into, the championship game, right? Which is convention. And this is really the first convention in Manila and Amare in the Philippines history that we're going to all come together as a collective to really plant that flag and then go on another 90-day run. And so the next 60 days right now, everything you've done has led up until this moment. Everything that you guys have built towards is now leading in these next 60 days. We are pretty much exactly 2 months out to this event in Manila. And I'm telling you right now, if there was ever a time to get in the DMs, to communicate with your teams, to call through your teams, to do welcome calls to new team members, every single conversation should be around Manila. Every single conversation should be around attending that event and what that's going to do for the business, and also what it's going to do for our mission, because this mission is unmatched, right? Mental wellness has never touched the heart of the Philippines ever, until now, until this group, until this community made a decision to go all in with Amari and to start to bridge the gap that has been needed, and not just in the Philippines, to beyond. Because what this market will do will continue to blossom and create a ripple effect for all of Asia and for all of the world. You guys are very connected, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. In my 10 years career, I have never met a more humble, fired up, loving, incredible culture and community than and I can say that. I said it publicly. I'm going to say it here privately with you guys. You guys are the real deal. And when you have a team like like your leadership team that really cares about the people, right? If you come in this just to make money, you can make money. But when you couple that and you collectively bring the heart of what your culture is about, the heart of what Amare is about, and the heart of what this mission is about, that's where you start to really create a ripple effect. And that's where people feel and understand, wow, this company, this culture, this community, and this team is different. And people want different. They want to feel good making money. They want to make an impact while they make money. And they want to have a lot of fun doing it. And you guys, you guys know how to have a lot of fun doing all the things. So just a shout out to you and your leadership. Every single one of you is a leader. And so right now, what I want you guys to think about before I bring somebody up, and I need someone to volunteer. You can hit the little raise your hand tool or just drop me in the chat, because I would love one or two of you to share your experience in Boracay. Right now is really a time where I want you to just envision that this call is not happening and you have no upline. Let's just think about this for a minute. Ellen on here, Katan, Michelle, Leah, Alberto, Jean, Arlene, Fishy, right? Mervin, Mila, all of you that I can see. Bobby, good to see you. All right, I want you just for a moment to think, okay, if I had no upline and no team and no system and no corporate, some of you are blessed to have an office on the ground, what would I be doing differently? What would my business look like? What would I want to create if I had the opportunity to create whatever culture and community that I wanted to create right now? Because that's literally the opportunity that every single one of you has. And whatever you want to create is exactly what's going to happen. You can't lead until you believe. And when you know where you're going and where you want to go for your team and your community and your impact, people are going to be attracted by you, right? Doc Bobby on here, for example, his vision might be to create the biggest group, of doctors in all of Philippines. I don't know. Maybe Katan on here, she wants to create a whole community around, women that are in her age group, right? And where they're at in the season of their life, right? We have people on the call that are in younger generation and they want to show other, students or kids, because I'm 40, right? But students that, hey, listen, having a job isn't the only way to make an income. You can come in here and really create something that builds over time, that's lasting over time, right? Maybe you're in your 30s and maybe you just had a baby, or maybe you want to have kids and you want to show other moms or soon to be moms that you can create something where you can go on maternity leave for however long you want to go on maternity leave and spend that time with your kids and your family and nursing or whatever that looks like postpartum, right? Without having to stress about money, right? Without having to stress about, man, if I don't show up, when you have a job, if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. Right? When you have a business like what we have here, you can create this compound effect. And then when you couple this industry with powerful products that we have that are proven in dozens of countries, that are proven for years and years now. Triangle of Health has been proven for over 16 years. Happy Juice has been proven for over 5 years now, right? You are coming in with the solid game plan with products that are also going to create an impact, right? And so what happens is you create kind of these whisper campaigns in your communities of, oh man, what's Jean doing? Man, why is she so fired up and for life and excited and happy? And what's she taking, right? What's up with Michelle? Man, she's just excited and she's bouncing around and she's got energy like crazy. What is she taking? And maybe it's the community that fires you up. Maybe it's the products that fires you up. Maybe it's the money that fires you up. There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever fires you up, of what lights you up right now, is exactly what you want to go all in on with your vision of, because you're going to attract who you are, right? And that's what I love about this industry. And when it comes to making money, money makes you are of who you money makes you more of who you are. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing. There's bad people out there that make really good money. But there's great, incredible, amazing people like all of you on the call that also make really great money here or will be really making good money here. And money in the hands of more people can do more good things in the world. Yes or yes? And so I'm just so proud of you of what you've done to come to this moment, this pivotal moment in the industry and in this company and with this mission for the very first time. So circling back before I bring somebody up, and if no one volunteers, I'm just going to call on one of you. You guys know that. But what I want, and I would love Tita Josie to share as well, if she hasn't maybe already lost her voice. I'm surprised she's not resting. She's headed to Australia here in a few days, in and out within 12 hours, sitting down with David Chung, right? But right now, what is it that Earl, that Mila, that Bobby, that Arlene, that Jocelyn on her, Hazel, Pam, I see you. What do you want to create and what are you going to create? Because the moment that you declare that, things and people start opening up for you. And so, but here's what I also want to say. In order to allow more people, more good things, more opportunity to come into your life, you have to let go of things that are not serving you. You have to. Because here's the thing. You can grind and hustle and ache to faint and do all the scripts and follow the system. But also if your internal thermostat is still set to the old you, your income will always snap back to the level that you subconsciously believe is safe. And I say this because some of you also have issues around money. And I know this because I've been there as well, right? And this is why in traditional business, you can have a $5,000 month and then a $0 month. That doesn't happen really here in this industry because you build this customer base that continues to take the products and it builds week over week over week, right? But some people in this, not even just in this industry, in general, they hit momentum and then they sabotage it. And it doesn't mean that you're broken or you're lazy or you're inconsistent. It just means that you're simply living in agreement with a money identity that is essentially is expired, right? You're living in fear. When I was a kid, I was always told that money is not grown on trees, right? Like I had 4 shirts and there's 5 days of 5 days a week at school. And I was like embarrassed to go to school because I didn't have enough clothes. You know, it was just whatever. It was embarrassing, right? I was on food stamps. There was times where I was on government assistance. I had this yellow card to punch in for my lunch. And there was times where I just didn't eat because I was so embarrassed. Now I make about $2,000 an hour, but I've had to let go of all these limiting beliefs of why I couldn't make the money that I make. Because to get to $10,000 a month is pretty much the same effort to get to $100,000 a month. To get to $1,000 a month is the same activity, closing, launching, presenting, being a good human, being consistent, as it is to getting to $5,000 a month. And so I want you, I'm going to ask you guys a few questions here because I want you to really sit with this. And I don't want you to rush some of these questions. I don't want you to judge yourself with these questions. I just want you to notice what comes up. All right. But before I kind of dive into that, I want to bring up a few of you to just kind of share really quick on your heart. Did I see anybody volunteer? Let me check this chat. All right, let me just check. I'm checking the chat. I'm checking it. Or I'm going to call on somebody. How many of you raise your hand if you are in Boracay? Raise your hand. All right. Fishy, I'd love for you to share, sister, of your experience and where it's going to take your business because of it. It's good to see you again, sister. You're muted, by the way.
Ah, Hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So I'm really ignited because of Boracay event. I'm really grateful for Tita Josie who supported us and my team in Boracay. It's a leadership summit and I think it's a call on leadership. For me, I realized that it's really a call for leadership. Actually, if you know me, I'm new to Amare, but I am not new to MLM. So I've started since 16 years old. I've started in local network marketing. I've done inviting, presenting, selling products, and it's not working for me. I do another network marketing. It's not working because the timing is not good on me on my side. Third, I've shift into another network marketing because I thought it's a really movement. It's an organic fertilizer to make a sustainable livelihood in Philippines. Like I've worked with DAR with advocacy of making farmers really lift up. So that's my advocacy. I'm passionate about it, but it's not really serving me well in terms of creating impactful or income within the Philippines because there's so many a lot of factors that could affect us. And now this is my fourth doing MLM business, and Amare is really really the best business, and really in time. I'm talking about timing, I'm talking about momentum, I'm talking about pioneering, because that's what I've realized when I saw when I'm attending Boracay. I'm just observing, I'm just doing this and doing that for my team, so that we will really engage into the kind of experience of what is the company all about, what would the company will give us, 'di ba? Luxurious treatment, accommodation. It's just a parang tip on the cherry top of a cake, right? But what I wanted to have, to envision and to want to create is I really wanted to be impactful leader like Tita Josie is, um Miss Julia is. Even if they don't know us personally, what background, and we are so many, right? We are 60 leaders in Boracay. We are so many, but still their heart is really genuine on supporting and giving their best to support our business, to grow our business, and to see what is really Amare and what is this company could help us or could offer us, right? So there's a few things. Myself, I wanna become a leader like Tita Josie and Coach Miss Julia is. I want to give more, give back to the community, give back, give opportunity to people who are very drained in life, like myself. Right now, I have a business. It's really stable, but it's just enough for me and my family. But I want more because I want to give more. So what do I want to do? What opportunity, what company, what career should I take so that I can be a blessing to everyone, like Tita Josie and Miss Julia. So I want to honor them. I want to honor Tita Josie and Miss Julia because of their heart, their giving heart. They are very radical giver talaga. You know, can you see that? So what I want to become. So now, I want to create that kind of same leadership and that kind of result that they have. So now I am really interested in the game plan. What do I need to do to become more Tita Josie, to become more to become like Tita Josie, and like Tita Josie now is a senior leader, right? Tita Josie? Yeah, so I know being a senior leader is really hard. But I think Tita Josie is super fun about it because it's not just natural for her to make it happen. But from racing from lower level, like myself, I need to work things out for my skills, my discernment, my values. I need to really grow it so that I become like that. I can make things not just for myself, but also for the people that I've sponsored in the business. Like Mambon, I see Mambon, she's really the leader. I need to think and strategize, select leaders that could work together with me, along with me, and be with me every day and every hour
I
in
love
this
that,
business.
Fishy.
So, yun po.
You know, one thing that I was on a coaching call with Fishy and some of her team and leaders just about an hour or two ago. And, you know, she already has a game plan set into place for what market she wants to grow, what that looks like, the strategy, what events they're going to do. Their whole team is really focusing on me and three. Like that's the game plan. Me and three to really duplicate that to Manila. So thank you so much, Fishy, for sharing. Of really just coming outside of that Boracay event, she was able to cast that vision for her team, brought a team there, and now is able to bring it back into her market. And she has a 60-day game plan, a strategy of how to then take those markets to the next level. And Fishy is also building in markets that does not have a corporate office on the ground. She has markets all over the country, 6 hours driving, you know, and as a lot of you do as well. But she's made it very clear of what that looks like. And she's already committed to having at least 50 people to convention over the next 60 days. So, Fishy, I'm proud of you. We're all proud of you, sister. Thank you so much for sharing. And so, just going back to that vision, right? What is your vision? I want you to drop in the chat right now, and I want you to declare it of how many people are you going to commit to on your team to get to convention in Manila? Just declare it right now. It can be a small number, it can be a big number. Whatever, there is no right or wrong number, but I just want you guys to put it in the chat because I think there's some also, it helps with a little bit of accountability of just putting it out there and declaring of how many people you are going to commit to right now. And it can grow. Maybe it's 50, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 5, but drop it in the chat. I see Michelle's going to commit to 10. Awesome. Doc Bobby, 40. I love that. Fishy has 50, Angel 10, 10, 30, 5, 10. I love that. I want you to write that number down. Write it down right now. Write it on a big piece of paper or on a sticky note if you have it, okay? And that's the number that you have to work towards. All right? Now what I would challenge you with that number that you've written that down, I would challenge you if that's the number that you know you want to hit and can hit, there's no reason that you can't double it. There's no reason that you can't have those numbers by the end of December and then double that moving into the first 3 weeks of January. I see it all the time. The only difference between someone that brings 30 and someone that brings 50 or someone that brings 5 versus someone that brings 10 is they've made a commitment, and every single conversation is about the convention. Because what's going to happen is when you're at convention, you're going to wish there's going to be more people there. You're going to wish you just would have picked up the phone call and called that newest brand builder, right? Or maybe a brand builder that hit brand builder and then life smacked him in the face, right? Life happens and you could be having a great month right now and next week life could slap you in the face, right? How many of you have just been like, you're on a high and then boom, you're like, really? Again, you're like, all right, God, what is this lesson in this loss? I'm ready to just like take this on. I believe that God does not give us anything that we're not capable of overcoming. And so as we go into the season, just think about that. I want you to write it down and declare it, and then challenge yourself to double it or at least, you know, halfway double it as we move into convention. Okay. So thank you so much, Fishy, for sharing. You know, I want to ask you this question right now, and you don't have to put it in the chat, but I do want you to write it down. I want you to ask yourself, who are you still trying to protect by staying small? Some of you are not playing to your potential at all, and you know it, and that's okay. I've been there. We all go through seasons for different reasons, but who are you trying to still protect by staying small, by not going all in? And so maybe it's a spouse or a partner, maybe it's a friend, maybe there's someone that might feel threatened or jealous or left behind. But I want you to think about that for a minute of what are you trying and who are you still trying to protect by staying small?
Mga utang?
And then I also want you to ask this question as well to yourself. Sorry, let me just mute everybody really quick. Is what do you fear you'll lose if you actually hit $5,000 month? Is it more responsibility? Is it more pressure? Is it more judgment? Is it because you're going to have more eyes on you? Do you feel like you can't balance it all? Right? Do you feel like it's time and relationships and approval and identity? Because when you understand some of these patterns when it comes to money, which you only make money by creating more of you make money based on the value that you bring into the marketplace, right? And so why are you holding yourself back, and what are you fearing? And when you actually do hit that goal, because for a lot of people, I was mentoring a girl last year, and I helped her get to executive leader in her first 60 days. And she just had this self doubt and self worth that she wasn't good enough. She had some trauma with her dad back in the day. And so anytime she would hit success, she would completely self sabotage it. We got her there, and then she disappeared for 2 weeks at a time and got into some really bad addictions and bad habits that just drove her to destruction. And so oftentimes, sometimes we fear like, oh, when we hit diamond, are we going to be able to maintain that, or will we have too much responsibility? And so when you get very clear on these triggers for you, you can identify them and then understand when they come up of how to move those along. Okay. I grew up thinking, that like people that had money were evil, and I just didn't understand it. I grew up in a house where, my parents would freak out if there was a light left on, before you left the room. And I believe you need to be responsible, but there was always fear around money. It was my parents were always like, we can't have that, versus like, hey, this is the reason why we shouldn't have this, right? Not necessarily we can't have it. And so it was constant like fear of never having enough, never being worthy enough, never never, I was never around anybody that really made money. We grew up, pretty, I wouldn't say super poor. It could have been worse. We could have been homeless, but my mom, we lived on like a thousand to $1,500 a month income, a single mom of 4 kids. And so it was a lot. And in, obviously that converts a little bit different in Philippines, but we were a very low income family. And so what's so interesting is like, if you even watch the movies, we're all wired. And so the girls will understand this, some of the movies, it's like the girl, it's always like the broke high school boyfriend that the girl goes back to, right? Then like the rich boyfriend, right? And it's like everything around us is like this, as if people that don't have money aren't necessarily good people. And so as we grow up with these triggers in our mind, right? As if it makes you feel safe that there's no good, wealthy men, which is nonsense, just like, vice versa for men and women. Um, and so when we grow up in a lifestyle, or, with whether it's how we grew up with our family or how things are portrayed in the movies, we start to think that that's the reality. But the reality is it's not the reality. You can really create your own reality, I believe, with, your relationship with God and how intentional you are and being very clear. But I want you to ask you this: what money story did you absorb as a child that's running right now in your adult life? And this could be an example of like, money is hard, or money is, is for other people, or, don't outgrow the family, or you need permission first, or you need to be grateful and not want too much. Who's to say you're not allowed to want more for your family? Because money can make things also easier and make a bigger impact when you have it. And so oftentimes the type of childhood that we grew up to, we bring that into our own families, our own children, our self every single day. And so we're almost unconsciously or subconsciously self-sabotaging our success because we don't even believe that we can ever have it. Okay? So I just want you to sit on that for a second and just like feel that of like, what money story did you absorb as a child, right? That's running into your life right now. I used to say yes to everything. I'm going to shift now because I know we're already at an hour, at 30 minutes here, but I used to say yes to everything, every alert, every call, every DM. I would wake up right on my phone and just in this hurry, right? But the reality is that your peace is actually a profit strategy. And what I mean by that is when you're building this business, you get what you allow, okay? And so what I'm trying to say is when you go into your week, like right now, I want you all to look at your calendar for a second. You have no boss. Your only boss is your calendar. What is on your calendar right now that's moving the needle for your business, for your marriage, for your health? That's in the calendar, set in stone, intentional, time blocked out, that you're actually able to go work on the things that actually matter. And so, what are you saying yes to that is actually costing you your growth? And let me give you an example. And some of you, how many of you are like the whale white personality? Like you want to make an impact and serve and give and help. And like that's you, right? There's kind of like four personality types. There's like money motivated type A, red slash shark. There's like your yellow slash dolphin that like wants to have fun and all the things, freedom. Then you have your like blue analytical, I want to know all the facts. And then you have like your white slash whales that want to make an impact. And so for those of you, I'm really speaking to you right now for a moment. And some of you, this also will also fall into, well, all of you, it'll fall into place. But for you especially, is who are you people pleasing? Right? Who are you overcommitting to and what are you overcommitting to? Right? We're getting into the holiday and Christmas seasons. You don't have to go to every single Christmas party if it doesn't serve you. Right? Being available 24/7. Some of you are serving in all over the place for everybody else except for yourself. We're in a mental wellness company. If your mind's not right and you're pouring from an empty cup, how are you going to be able to overflow that into other people? Right? Being available to every alert on your phone. I have like 0 alerts on my phone. So that way I also have like ADD. Okay. So I get like distracted. I'm like, oh, this alert, blah, blah, blah. I got to be laser focused and intentional so I can build an intentional life for my family. And so, what would happen, just for a minute, if you said no to things and people and places that are not serving you? Because when you're overcommitting to areas that are not filling your bucket and bringing you and your family joy, you're not going to allow for more space in your life and your career and your family and your happiness if you're pouring things into other things or people that are not serving you. Some of you are holding on to friendships. You need to let some of them go. Some friends, their real friends will be there for no matter what. Your real friends will support you. Your real friends cannot wait for you to hit diamond. Your real friends are going to come to an event just to support you. Whether they buy the product or not, they can't wait for you to hit that next rank because they're like, heck yeah, the business might not be for them, but they're a real friend to you, so they're going to support you. And you got to let go of a lot of those friendships that are holding you back. Right? And not from fear, right? But from a standard. If you said no because it's your standards, right? Tony Robbins says you are your standards, right? Your body's going to start to reveal the truth. I remember when I first got into this business and I had to borrow the money to get started. I had to borrow the money to fly to an event across, it was like a 6-hour flight to see what it looked like for a market that was launched, right? And then I finally went to convention. So for those that maybe came in October or maybe September, 10 years ago on October 23rd is when I first joined Kayani / Amari now, okay? And it was that perfect 60-ish days to convention, which was in Orlando, where I met some of you on this call, where I brought my first team of 12 people. And that's when I believed. That's when I decided to go pro. That's when I believed I would be a diamond, right? Then I would be a millionaire. Then I would buy my dream home for almost $2 million. Then I would retire my husband. And all these things came true, but it's because I was committed and I got around the right rooms and the right people that also believed in me. You see, the easiest thing I've done is made a few $1 million in this industry. The hardest thing I did was actually believing that I could and that I was worthy of even making that kind of money. I didn't even come across I couldn't even comprehend that type of income. And so I want you to kind of shift, right? Kind of like your wealth identity, right? Because the difference between like men and women who stay stuck where they are and who actually rise is they just decide before they see the evidence, before they feel ready. You're never going to feel ready to go live on Facebook. Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all went live on Facebook the last month. I saw some of you. I was like, yes, let's go. I was super fired up, tuning in, commenting. I'm like, I love it. It was so good. All right. They decide right before it makes sense. Our team has donated close to $1 million combating human trafficking and feeding families around the world. Why? Because that's what I wanted to be able to create within my community over the last 10 years. And so it's really just being somebody that decides of where they're going, where they're headed. And then you start to shift your identity act as if you were already a diamond. Act as if you already had diamonds on your team, right? Your action shifts, your boundaries then shift, your habits then shift, and then your actual outcomes will shift. And so I love November because I usually do a training of like November, saying no to things that don't serve you, to things that aren't fulfilling your cup, to things that you should not be saying yes to. Because every single no, when you make room for that, becomes a yes to who you're actually becoming in the process. And then you can actually create a space for what you actually want in your life. So you have to protect that yes, right? If it doesn't align, if it drains you, if it's pulling you in the wrong direction, if you have friends that are distracting you from your main goal, there's a lot of distractions out there, yes or yes. There's a lot of scams out there, yes or yes. Amari is a legit company that has been around for years, that has the products to prove it, that is just now for the first time hit the ground in the Philippines. And you guys are on this call. This will just continue to grow. We're going to laugh at the size of our calls a year from now, being like, dang, remember when? I'm telling you right now. And we're going to walk into that room at convention in Manila together as a team, dominating the space, because Team Elite, we don't we don't settle for number two. We either come in number one or not. And you guys are already doing it. We're going to dominate that space humbly, but we're also going to set the pace and the tone for the market and the mission that we're leading as a team, as a collective. So every single day, there's different like millionaire habits out there. Number one is protect your yes. Number two is you need to build small and have daily, start with small habits and build daily proof, right? 15 minutes a day of power moves every single day. That's going to move mountains over time, right? Who are those top three that you're connecting to every day? Are you doing those daily DMOs? Welcome calls to new people. I love that book, Fishy Atomic Habits. That's a good one. Your daily goals, right? Are you connecting with your team? Are you showing up to the events without being convinced? That was one thing. Like I've never missed in 10 years an event that I qualified for, I guess actually except for Philippines. With the super typhoon. Dang, I've never been able to not say that now. I guess maybe I can't say that forever, but that was a God thing, okay? So out of my control, but I've never missed an event or a call that I qualified for. Right? And so what are those top three that you're going to accomplish in your business, your health, and your happiness, right? Or your relationships? And some of you have your daily DMOs are not good. They're not good. If somebody was following you around right now with the camera, if you on a reality TV show, would it be interesting or underwhelming? Would they be like, heck yeah, I want to join Arlene, I want to join Ellen, I want to join Michelle? Or they be like, dang, that ain't it. And that's up between you and God and yourself. You know what I mean? But what does that look like behind the scenes? Because the speed of the leader is the speed of the team always. And how you do most things is how you do everything. Okay? And so you have to detach your identity from that old income level. Whatever you're making right now, you're not a $100 woman or $100 a month man. You're $5,000 or $20,000, right? You have to stop acting like him or her. You have to stop thinking like him or her. And you have to start believing what you know true to believe in yourself and what you can accomplish here, right? You have to normalize wealth. Number 4, talk about it, pray over it, plan with it, expect it. And you have to live like someone who is next level is inevitable, that you can create all that you want to create here. My husband and I, we have a goal to have $10 million in the bank in the next 5 to 7 years. I already know that it's going to happen. Why? Because I've declared it. I have a game plan. I'm intentional, and it's going to happen. And everything that I put my mind to and I've set my mind to, it's happened because I've already believed it before it's happened. And then what happens is all of my daily activities around everything I do, the people that I surround myself with, the networking groups that I surround myself with, the conversations that I have, the time with my family, it is all hyper intentional to the long-term goal for my family. And so some of you are just playing small, and you know you are, and that's okay. And it's that time to really decide, right? We just dropped $100,000 for a mastermind for next year. That's the most I've ever spent in a mastermind or mentorship. But it saves us 22 grand in taxes, whatever. And it's an investment. It's an investment into my mindset, into myself, into all the things to get to the next level. You have people come into this business and they won't even drive 30 minutes to an event that's like free, or you're getting fed food. That's crazy because they just have that broke employee mindset. They're not used to investing, right? Or they're like, oh, I don't know, to go to Manila, there's I have to get a flight or a car or a hotel. They're not used to investing into a business. How many of you are traditional business owners? Drop me in the chat. How many? And let me ask you this also, how much did it cost you to start up one of your companies or businesses? Just give me an example, an idea. I can tell you one of our businesses costs about 50 grand. 5 million, Fishy says. How much? And lost it. I mean, most businesses aren't profitable in those first 3 to 5 years. That's normal. Who else? Put it in the chat. Only one traditional business owner? That's okay. Emily, how much did you invest into your business? You're good. You're maybe trying to add it all up for a minute. You're like, oh no, it's like a lot. Okay. So listen, when you look into this business, it's like, okay, what's the investment? Product every month to make us healthier and events. What do we get paid? To get customers and customer getters. We only get paid when we're moving product in the company. And then we have bonuses and trips and all of that. And then on top of that, we get retreats just for doing the things we should be doing anyway. So really the only investment is your monthly subscription and then going to events. So we get to basically get paid to be healthy and to travel, literally. And the experience and being around people that are going to uplift us and champion us and root us on. Jocelyn said 5 million as well. So, and that's without just like front end money. And it typically takes years to have profitability, right? And so your income will only rise to the level of your self-worth. So you have to raise both. And so as you're going into the season and also educating your people of like, listen, we're going to work anyway. Does it take work? Yeah. We have a workout program here. If you work it, it works out. But you got to be relentlessly consistent, and you have to have a clear vision of what you're creating. Bobby, Mila, Vishy, Alberto, Gerald, Ellen, Michelle, the ones that I can see with their cameras on, Arlene, SB, but I see all the rest of you, of what you're going to create moving into convention. That's the only investment. Other than that, it's your time. And your time spent with other entrepreneurs that want to uplift you and champion you and root you on. And so right now we're in this time right now in the season where it's not like, hey, we're just launching this thing. Oh my gosh, we're excited. I'm going to follow up with you in 90 days. Hey, we've launched it. Hey, we had 50 plus 60 people in Boracay, almost 70 people in the first 90 days. Hey, we already have 30 people qualified for Hawaii within a month and a half of launching the retreat. Hey, we have our first ever massive convention. Our leaders are flying in from all over the country, from as far as the US to as far as Australia, to be here with us to launch this mission, because mental wellness is needed in our communities, because the suicide rate is at an all-time high, because people are sad and depressed, and seasonal depression is very real, because people are lonely and they don't have a community and they're struggling and their health sucks. And they think, and you either pay for your health now or you pay for it later. The choice is yours. And our products are preventative. Our products allow for people to feel good now and prevent those long-term issues, prolonging it down the road, right? But we got to get out there in communities and be loud and proud of what that looks like. I know you guys are loud. I know you guys are proud, but now we got to take it to the next level, because now you guys have all of the proof that you've built into and have needed to then take it to the next level. It's not like, oh, we're doing this thing and it's not working out. No, it's working out for a lot of people. And we're just getting started, and we're just now starting to launch this thing. And we have every single system, tool, mentorship, leadership on the ground. And we're bringing more products to our country. And we had 80, 70, and 80% of the promotions company wide in over 20 countries were outside of our country in Asia, because what we're doing is working, and what our products are doing are making a massive impact. And that's the story. And then whatever you want to create with your communities is exactly what you're going to create. If it's slow and somber and quiet and everyone's late all the time and there's no accountability, and then that's the culture you're going to create. But if it's like fired up, on time, excited, ready, getting after it, going live, sharing the things, getting excited, getting on the phone call, connecting with your people, keeping those 3 conversations, new conversations every day, getting your team focused on mean 3 every single week, right? Tracking that, whiteboarding all your people coming in, where they're at. Did they get launched? Have they had an event yet? Were they at an event? Have they been trained? Do they have their ticket to convention? Organizing your team and really treating it like a business, and you will get paid like a business, and you will make the biggest impact that any team and anybody has ever seen. Every single one of you can completely pass me up in rank. Every single one of you can completely outmake what I'm making right now. And that's what I call fair. And that's why I love this industry, because it's really just connecting with the right people and putting in the work to make it happen. So I love to open up the call to have Tita Josie say some words. I know she's been traveling and doing all the things and working really hard behind the scenes. And I'll end with the call to action here in a little bit. But I just want to thank you, Tita Josie, for just being there with the team, and just, man, all the messages and the pictures. And I mean, just, you are truly a leader of leaders. And it was really cool to see from afar how impactful and how phenomenal and how much you care about your team. So it's good to see you.
Wow, thank you, Miss Julia. My gosh, guys, everyone should be here. I've taken tons and tons of notes. There's so much nugget, there's so much wisdom in what Miss Julia has shared. And we are here to make a big difference, top to bottom of the Philippines. And I'm so loud and proud of each and every one of you, because I know that the Boracay experience has ignited almost everyone, like really and truly ignited everyone. And so we're going to march into APAC. There's 500 of us, right? That's what we're committing, is 500. So start talking to people now. And we are going to be massive, Miss Julia, when we come to Manila. So we're over to you to close. And yeah, because it's just been an amazing training. So drop in the chat, what did you learn from this training of Miss Julia today? Drop in the chat one word.
Thank you, Tita Josie. So, as we go into this next season, I know we're getting into the holiday months. All right. It's not a holiday month, it's a holiday. So also, most people, I love this season as we get into Q4, and thank you guys in for the comments in the chat. As most people have gone through the entire year, the same old person, same energy, same friend group, same income, same. And they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so they're not wanting to wait till they want to get started now. They want to feel good now. They want to survive the holidays. They want to feel good around the holidays. They want to make money before the holidays. They want to make an impact, right? And give back around the holidays. So as you go into these holidays, okay, and go into the Christmas season, it's a great time to connect with people. It's a great time to cast vision of what you're doing. It's a great time to really dial in your own habits, not waiting for January, new me, then I'm going to get after it. What habits can you instill right now? What can you say no to right now and decide that's not serving you, so you can clear some space, right? Ask yourself before every decision, is this expanding me or is it draining me? Right? Is this who the wealthy version of me would be acting like and doing, right? And so writing down what you notice, because what you're going to happen is, especially those moments where your old identity tries to pull you back, this is kind of where the self-sabotage kind of reveals itself, and it's where your new identity can essentially take over. And so if you're blessed to be in a team on the ground right now that's doing events, committing to those events from now until convention, it's 60 days. That's it. It will fly by. Showing up early, on time, volunteering, bringing guests, getting out there, calling through the team, and really committing. You guys know what to do. You guys have your DMOs, you guys have your schedules in place. And if you're in a market that doesn't have that, and if you're in a market where you're like, there is no corporate office or there is no events going on, well, guess what? You get to create that from scratch, the ground up of what that looks like. And you have your entire leadership team to help you and guide you to build from event to event to event, right? Those weekly overviews into those weekly trainings, that is your bread and butter in the business. And just getting consistent. Those 2 solid days every week minimum to start building your business and training the trainers and developing leaders in your business, that's going to create leverage, and that's going to create the biggest impact. And so now's the time not to just kind of relax and all the things. Now's the time to be like, okay, I have all the proof, all the things, all the support, all the product knowledge, everything that I need to really go out there and then take my rank, my business to the next level. And how do you do that? You help your team rank up. You help them hit me in 3. You make sure people are on subscriptions. You cast vision to convention, and you show up learning with the intent to teach. Because there's no reason why Gerald and Jean and Alberto and Fishy and Michelle won't be a diamond on stage. And the only way that they're going to get to diamond is to help more silvers. And the only way to create more silvers is to help more brand builders and to help more people hit me in 3. It's not complicated. I do the same things when I was doing $1 million a month to $3 million a month in sales as I was doing when I was doing $10,000 a month in sales. It's the same things. It's just at a different level. But it's the same activity around the world in every single country, okay? Online or offline. We launch, we close, we present, and we go to events. We get customers and customer getters. And then we promote the next event. And that's it. It's not complicated, but it's also not easy. This business is not easy, but it's worth it. And there's no other business model out there like it when you really put in the work. What you can do within consolidate 40 years of work into a 2 to 5 year game plan can set your family up for generations. I completely changed my family's generation financially. My kids are good. I'm going to make them work for it. They're not going to know they're that good. Okay. I want to make sure they're real humble growing up, but it's because I made a decision and I kept the main thing. And I was relentless with learning, with personal development, and becoming that next version of me so I could lead a Tita Josie, so I could lead a Gerald, so I could lead a Jasper Crispy, so I could lead a Fishy, so I could lead a Catan, right? 10 years ago, I wasn't ready to lead somebody like a lot of you on this call because I had to work on me too. But because I was working on me constantly and investing into events and personal development and all the things, I've been able to develop myself into a leader that's created over 100 6- and 7-figure earners over the last 10 years. Majority of them, 90% of them, without any experience in network marketing. Just a lot of love, a lot of heart, and doing the right thing. So I love you guys. I don't know, Tita Josie, if you want to say anything else and close out. Or any
Yeah,
other
so I'm going to drop the recording. Julia, today's training is what we need after Boracay. That is for sure. So make sure you watch that over and over again. So everything that we need now to get to the next level is in today's message. So watch it over and over. I've got a call in 1 hour, and that's what leaders do. You jump from call to call to call to call. So thanks so much, Miss Julia. Turn on your camera. We have 30 seconds. Turn on your camera. Let's take a photo. Okay. So I saw your message there, Miss Doc Bobby. I'll get Miss Julia to answer it next meeting. All right, everybody, big smile. 1, 2, go. All right, next page. All right, everybody, let's smile. All right, thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, you
Thank you
guys.
so
God
much,
bless.
Miss Julia. Thank you, Tita Josie Tong. Thank you
Thanks,
so much,
everyone.
guys.